At SHECAN, we tell women's stories. We interview women from all over the world and all walks of life because it's easier to be what you can see. And I'm really excited to talk to Allegra Patrizi today. Allegra, I'm so excited to talk to you today. You've been in the financial service industry for more than 20 years, and you're the managing director for the business and commercial at Virgin Money and a board member. You're also a non-executive board member at the Aegon Group, one of the largest family-owned private equity investment funds in the world. You're the ex-CEO of Aegon in the Netherlands. You've had a lot of leading positions in the financial services industry. Tell us a bit more about your journey and how you got to where you are today.
It all started in Italy, and literally I followed a little bit my instinct and a little bit of luck. But quite early on into my sort of having done engineering at university at l'École Normale Supérieure in France, I just, I just got an internship at JP Morgan, and that really led the path there onwards. And why did I stay in this industry? Because I actually think it's one of those fundamental needs of society, like shelter, like food, like education, like health. And therefore, as a woman, as a mother, as a citizen, I wanted to contribute to one of those industries that are at the heart of one of the fundamental needs of society.
So, Allegra, tell us a little bit more about your vision. You want to be part of Virgin Money becoming the best digital bank in the UK or even in the world. And you want people to really enjoy money. Tell us a bit more about that big vision that you're a part of.
So I joined Virgin Money indeed because of that big vision, which is to become the best digital bank in the UK. But I actually added a little twist. And that little twist is to be not just the best digital bank, but actually to be the most loved one. Because my big mantra in life is care, dare, share. And it's caring about my colleagues, caring about my customers, daring to take the decision that may be popular or unpopular, but the ones that are going to make a difference. And then sharing vulnerability, sharing humanity, celebrating life, accepting that none of us is perfect, that no institution is perfect, but really trying to make a difference. So care, dare, share. And I believe that once you display those three things, you become the most loved bank. Because at the end of the day, people realize that money is not necessarily what they want to talk about all day long, but it is the one thing that when it starts going wrong, it's a real problem, right? And it is at the heart of each and everyone's life. I mean, it enables or not enables the ability to do everything. It creates anxiety or removes anxiety. And what I would like to do is to realize that in life, a bank can really be your partner, your partner, in making sure that you can focus on the things you really want to focus on. And I developed that vision at a certain moment in my life where I was buying a house, and then for all sorts of reasons, the Lehman Brothers debacle came on, and that bank decided to cancel my mortgage. And we were in the process of buying the house. And very quickly onward, my husband also started having problems, and we ended up divorcing. And so, there was only one bank that wanted to give me that loan. And that bank never realized what an important role they had played in my life. I was almost facing personal bankruptcy, and that bank saved my children and myself from that personal bankruptcy. And at that moment, I realized that the bank, a financial institution, is much more than a bank. It's like a hospital. It's the one thing that through its action, through an operation, through a decision, actually can change the course of your life. And I want to be that bank that does it not because they didn't realize it, but does it because they fully realized it, and they know the importance they play in the emotional life of every person in the street. That is the bank I want to be. And that is where you talk about the most loved bank.
Allegra, I love your vision. I love how you tell us how you got to that vision, which is a big vision but has a personal root. So, what do you feel are your top qualities that really serve you every day to be that leader with these three bullet points that are really, when I think about it, I think every leader should have that, right? Not just the leader of a bank, but every politician, every leader of any spaces we inhabit.
As we say in Italy, I'm a big Italian mama. And that means I come with a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of dare, a lot of share. We celebrate life. I love to celebrate life, to look at it thinking, where can I make a difference? Not just to my children. We see everybody as your children, as our children, right? That's what being an Italian mama is. So care, dare, share is something that is very, very natural to me. And I really do not care to be in a boardroom and to be sort of the one that is perceived as with the most power, the most this, the most that. No, I win if I have brought into that debate the perspective of every man and woman and child on us. Because at the end of the day, I think my ability is the one to understand how people are, the ones going to the supermarket, the ones going to the pharmacy, which as a single mother of three, I've had to do quite a few times in my life, if not every week. And I bring that into the boardroom saying to some of these very powerful guys, guys, have you ever thought that this is how somebody thinks? So that's how I do it. I'm a big Italian mama and I care, I dare, and I share.
Allegra, I love that because you really bring an innately female perspective to the table, which is really how you define your leadership and your vision. Tell us a little bit more about this leadership style and that vision. And when did you realize it's about care, dare, share? Where were you at in your life? And when did it sort of, come to you that you thought, this is it, this is what I can bring to the table, this is what it's about?
I realized it about 10 years ago when I found myself alone with three very small children. The eldest was 5, the smallest one was about 1 year old. And I looked at them and I said, right, children, mama needs to go to work, but mama also needs to go to the supermarket. So the three of you and me are going to figure out a solution here. And in doing all of that, I realized that there is, as a financial institution, you weigh so much in the life of everyone. And that's where I started realizing, look, it's not about, mimicking some of those blue suits that take themselves very seriously. It is actually about really servicing, really bringing service to people and making sure that you do it in a way that is responsible, that is also profitable, because at the end of the day, there are shareholders. And of course, I never forget those. But it's really about having this complete vision and thinking, what do my customers want? What do my colleagues want? What do my shareholders want? And who am I? And never forgetting who you are. Because at the end of the day, the only good version of yourself you can be is yourself. Trying to copy any other person that you think is powerful or successful is always going to be a pale copy of yourself. So accept who you are, for better, for good, and try to do the best you can with that. And that means sharing. That means having the vulnerability of accepting yourself, daring to be yourself, and caring for yourself. So it's back to care, dare, share.
Allegra, give us some top tips. Give us top tips for young women who are entering the financial services industry. What tips would you give them?
I think the first one is find your equilibrium, right? Again, do not try to imitate somebody else's equilibrium. It is not yours. So figure out what is the right balance between family life, work life, gym, what a passion, spirituality, whatever you want to put in it. Find your balance. Because once you are balanced, I can push you left and right, you will always come back to the balance. If you're on one, if you're leaning too much to the left, too much to the right, too much forward, too much backward, it's very easy for circumstances to unbalance it. And coming back from unbalance is a very difficult thing. The second thing is celebrate life. Look at the positive. Every setback is a opportunity to bounce back. Let's be honest. Nobody arrives at your age, my age, which I think is roughly the same age, without a few, as the French would say, casseroles, which means problems, right? We all, by this age, have had 1, 2, 3 major things happening in life. They may be told, they may be untold, but they're there. And what you need to understand is the difference between those who really get through and those who let sort of get depressed is that we all live through a set of those, but it's how you react to those. So I personally think whatever happens to me, look, it's there for a reason. I need to learn about from it, about it. I don't always know the reason, but what I'm thinking is, okay, it happened. I can either try to fight against it or just say, look, it happened. Now, what do I learn from it? How do I react from it? And the third one is, just enjoy the ride. It's a bit like a surfer. You never know what the next wave is going to be. So yes, make a plan. I always use the analogy of skiing, right? When I ski, I know that I want to get to the end of that slope and hopefully with my 2 legs still attached to my body. But at the end of the day, as I'm going down, yeah, there is a bump, there is an icy patch, and I need to adapt. So welcome that adaptation. Realize that you have a plan, but in order to get to the plan, things are going to be a bit shifty. And you know what? Yeah, that's part of the fun. And sometimes, yes, you'll fall, have a big smile, stand up, keep going.
Allegra, thank you for these brilliant tips. Tell us, what do you feel are the biggest challenges you're facing now or in the next years?
Um, I don't know. I think everybody faces the same challenges, which are limiting beliefs about ourselves. At the end of the day, you're only as satisfied as you allow yourself to be, right?
Yeah.
And so yes, you can have a big ambition and want to go forward and want to want further and all of that, and that's great. But if it doesn't happen for whichever reason, it's probably that also you were part of that decision in a way. And so recognize it and don't be angry with yourself. So it's back to the balance. Understand that things happen, they happen for whichever reason, whether you were in it, not in it, it really depends. But at the end of the day, the challenges are face face whatever happens, make a big smile, keep going for whatever you believe in, but don't let limiting self beliefs keep you back.
Allegra, and what are you most proud of to date?
Um, Many times I would have said my children, and it's certainly one of the things I'm the most proud of. But it is also when I have a meeting with my team. Recently, I invited them at my house at the countryside, and I could really feel an extreme, sense of belonging. And I thought I can be very proud of that because at the end of the day, it is not always the case in a work environment that your team really has that sense of belonging, that sense of camaraderie. And every time I witness that, and it's the second team where I'm really witnessing that, I feel, yes, I do feel like the mother of that group. I do feel that sort of pleasant satisfaction of being a mother that has succeeded well with her own children. And of course, none of them are my children. They are, very strong adults, talented adults, and all of that. But deep down in me, there is this motherly feeling that says, I'm slightly older than some of them. And yes, I managed to create a team that really gels together. And that is an amazing satisfaction. So it's back to care, dare, share. I feel that I've cared for them. I dare to take the decision, and we share in this, yeah, familia, as we say in Italian.
Allegra, and we know that the data of people who really feel that they have harmony in the job, they gel, they have community, the output is much better.
Exactly.
Allegra, so what are the plans Are there more dreams? What are the goals for the next years?
Oh, that's always a difficult question. Look, I think we have a lot to do. We want to make sure that Virgin Money fulfills all its promises to its customers. We are in the process of potentially a big transaction, so we want to make sure we also fulfill all the promises towards the nationwide, um, network, institution, stakeholders, customers, etc. Sorry, members, etc. So we will see. But in the meanwhile, I'm very excited with what I have to do, and I will certainly make sure that I give my very best every day.
Allegra, and if you had a wand and you can change one thing, what would you change?
Oh, oh, many, many things in the world, but I would love, I mean, this will sound probably like motherhood and apple pie, but I would want a bit more harmony. I find that we are in a historical moment with quite a bit of tension. I would want some of that to go away so that our children can have the same, in a way, benign environment that probably you and I have enjoyed for so many years. That would be great. But I realize that's a bit motherhood and apple pie. So at a more down to earth level, I would love to be the leader that truly establishes the most empathic uh, uh, banking offering of the UK, and really makes a difference when people say, "Wow, that bank really cares for us customers." Wow, that would be so good.
Allegra, I'm so excited to have your story on here. I'm so excited to have learned about your leadership style, the things that really matter to you, where you want to drive Virgin Money to, and be a part of that incredibly big vision and to have that beautiful vision for a financial institution.
Thank you to you for having me.